Hi everyone. Today I have a story for you called The Little Red Fort. This is by Brenda Maier and the pictures are by Sonia Sanchez. I'm curious to see if you'll notice if it reminds you of any fairy tale that you've heard before. It reminds me of one of them. So see if you can figure out which fairy tale it might remind you of. The Little Red Fort. Ruby's mind was always full of ideas. One day she found some old boards. Who wants to help me build something? She asked her brothers. Oscar Lee pretended not to hear her. Rodrigo gave her a look that could melt popsicles. Jose almost fell off the fence. You don't know how to build anything, they said. Ruby shrugged. Then I'll learn. And she did. Who wants to help me draw the plans? Ruby asked. The boys clutched their sides and howled with laughter. Not me, said Oscar Lee. I don't think so, said Rodrigo. No way, said Jose. I'm too busy. Fine, said Ruby. I'll draw them myself. And she did. Satisfied with her plans, Ruby asked, Who wants to help me gather the supplies? Not me, said Oscar Lee. I don't think so, said Rodrigo. No way, said Jose. I'm too busy. Fine, said Ruby. I'll gather them myself. And she did. When all the supplies were gathered, Ruby asked, Who wants to help me cut the boards? Not me, said Oscar Lee. I don't think so, said Rodrigo. No way, said Jose. I'm too busy. Fine, said Ruby. I'll cut them myself. And she did. She is working really hard at this, isn't she? She's doing every step she needs to do to make this fort. When all the boards were neatly cut, Ruby sang, Who wants to help me hammer in the nails? Not me, said Oscar Lee. I don't think so, said Rodrigo. No way, said Jose. I'm too busy. Are they really busy, or are they being kind of lazy? They don't actually want to help. What do you think? Let's see what she says. She says, Fine, said Ruby. I'll hammer them myself. And she did. Soon, Ruby's creation was complete. Says Ruby's fort. Who wants to play in my fort? She called. Me, said Oscar Lee. Let's go, said Rodrigo. I'll play, said Jose. I'm not busy anymore. What do you think? Will she say yes, they can play with her? Or do you think she'll say no, since they didn't help? Make a prediction and see what you think. Not so fast, Ruby said. You didn't help me draw the plans or gather the supplies or cut the boards or hammer the nails. You said I didn't know how to build, and you laughed at me. I'm going to play in the fort by myself. And she did. We didn't want to play anyway, the boys said. But they did. So they huddled, whispered, and got straight to work. Oscar made a mailbox. Rodrigo planted flowers. Jose painted the fort fire engine red. Ruby was delighted. Do you know what delighted means? That's like happy. So what they did for her fort made her delighted and happy. Now what do you think she'll say? Do you think they'll be able to play in the fort with her? So Ruby was delighted. That evening, the boys followed a delicious aroma. Remember, an aroma is a smell. So they followed a delicious aroma to a fort warming party. Who wants to help me clean this plate? Ruby asked. We do, the boys said. And they did. The end. And then look at this. It gives you some ideas for forts that you can build. You could build a sofa fort if you have pillows on your couch that you can take off to make a fort. You could build a kitchen chair fort. So look, that looks like it has kitchen chairs and then maybe a blanket or something like that over it, a sheet. Ooh, if it was colder outside, you could make a snow fort, sort of like when we learned a little bit about igloos. Or if you have a bunk bed, you could make a bunk bed fort and drape your sheet or blanket over the side so that it feels like the inside of a fort underneath. Those are some neat ideas. If you decide to build a fort at your house, that could be a fun thing to take a picture of and show the class or to tell us about on a call. I would love to hear about that and to hear if anybody in your family helps you and if you include them or if you end up doing it mostly on your own. I hope that you liked that story. And did you think of any of the fairy tales that we read that it reminded you of? It reminded me of one where someone was baking some bread and she was asking other people to help her and they kept saying, "No, I won't help you." And then she made the bread and they wanted some. Do you remember who that was? It was the little red hen. You could probably look that story up if you'd like to be reminded of that one. That's a pretty famous fairy tale. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I can't wait to see you soon. Take care.